Welcome in, folks, to the first episode proper of Footium Fridays. It is a video podcast brought to you by, well, let's be honest, the kind people at the Footium Community Fund, of which one of them you're about to hear. If you're watching, you'll know who it is already. But I am joined by two esteemed guests from our panel today. Let's go first to the man who, if you ask a question anywhere in the socials, he'll be all over you, either giving you helpful answers or spamming Cristiano Ronaldo gifs. Albeit he's been a bit quiet this season, to be fair, so he's kind of tailed off a little bit. He's been too busy arguing with the Quizbot in the Discord recently. I speak, of course, of Sam Jackson. How are you, Sam? Welcome in.
I'm very well, thank you, Muzza. I'm buzzing to be here. Thanks for inviting me on the first one. I'm surprised you're not sick of me. You've had me on your channel a few times now. But yeah, I've stopped with the Ronaldo gifts for now. Maybe they'll come back.
I don't know if his goal scoring's coming back, to be honest. So we'll move on swiftly.
No comment.
And also the pride of Barnsley, a man who he's just taking the beta by storm. He can't stop winning titles. He's now in the top flight. Come the new beta that we're going to talk about shortly. I speak, of course, of Lewis H. How you doing, mate? Welcome in.
How you doing, mate? I'll pay you later for that introduction. Thank you very much.
got you build you up, before I bring you down later on. So, But we are here on a Friday. It's definitely a Friday. We're definitely not recording on a Tuesday, just to ignore that. Yeah. But we are going to cover anything and everything Footium wise. If there is anything you guys want us to cover on future episodes, let me know. Be that in the replies to the podcasts or the comments on YouTube or Spotify, where you'll get us on video as well. And spread the word. You'll find us everywhere good and some bad podcast providers as well. So we are everywhere and anywhere now. But we are going to start off by talking about this upcoming beta that everyone is constantly asking about at this moment in time. The favourite question in Discord and on Twitter right now is, well, we're back to when beta, Sam, aren't we? So
we are. It's good to see. I think the last few weeks I've seen a little bit more traction on sales on Twitter as well. I've been getting a lot more questions about how they can play the beta. Held a club for a while, kind of getting the next beta. So I've been making a big list. So my list has been getting bigger and bigger because everyone seems to come in saying, I want to play the beta. So I've been getting that ready. And yeah, with the beta, we've made a lot more progress on the front end than we'd initially imagined at this point in time. So I know Jordan did the announcement. I think it was around 2 months ago saying it would be around 2 months. But at this point, we're so close on the front end that we're hoping that the new beta will have the front end and the advanced match engine in around 4 weeks' time. So that is some big alpha for the Footium podcast on the first one, because obviously we said it was just going to be the advanced match engine, but yeah, we've made great progress. The new front end lead Jasper's joined the team and kind of changed the way we do things. We're coding it from a components level rather than coding it page by page. So we can make these pages up a lot quicker. When it comes out, it won't be every page, but it's going to be most pages that you need to test the new aspects of the advanced maths engine. And obviously we need some feedback on the new UI because you've seen it for a long time and I just can't wait to get everyone playing it. So yeah, super excited to get everyone testing the new front end as well as the advanced match engine. Also new player designs, which I don't think we've revealed yet, which are very exciting. New cards, which you've seen, different player generation, and those database improvements. Basically, your team's been very hard at work.
We're only 5 minutes in and we're getting all the exclusives already. I'm loving this. Absolutely loving this.
I'll be quiet, listen to Sam.
Well, just wait. Lewis is going to tell you how to win your league when we get into beta as well. But yeah, so if anyone has seen the prior betas that all three of us have taken part in, I should point out there are 2 champions on this panel and 1 relegation candidate.
I get a lot of stick for my beta endeavours. I get a lot of stick. And this is the thing I've talked about a lot, but the old teletext is coming back as well for the next beta. So I really need to be better because I got hammered last beta. Absolutely hammered. You two must have done well on it, on teletext.
I got one mention because I wasn't in the top division. Obviously, Mozza was. So
yeah, it got to the point you just started slandering me because I was going unbeaten the whole time. You were just looking for juicy gossip,
Yeah, I did see once I started winning games, the attention did swiftly turn to you. To be fair,
yeah, it was that 7-0 that just doomed you to failure. I think after
it was.
But in terms of changes, then, so it's going to look a lot different from what you've said there with the front end, and all the sneak peeks have looked great. I must admit that it looks like a really kind of fleshed out, slick, really attractive game that's coming through. In the match engine, we've not had a lot of chance to talk about this advanced match engine up to this point. Is there anything you can give us away?
I'm not the most technical person in the team. Jordan and Archie worked at Football Manager. Since he's joined the team as well, it's been game changing having Jordan and Archie working together, just passing ideas across from each other. But what they tell me is basically the old match engine, it was something like only 3 events. It was shot, goal, or miss. I think you saw that in the commentary. That was worked out for all the code, whereas this one's going to have loads of events. It's going to simulate every single event on the pitch, which will mean you've got a lot more input on what you're doing. I know there was a lot of feedback in the last beta that people didn't know if what they were doing was right. Lewis didn't know how he won the league. He just won the league. And it was tough. Like, you didn't have player ratings, you didn't have anything like that. But if you're simulating every event, you're simulating a failed tackle, you're simulating a good pass and assists, goals. And it's going to be nice to track assists as well, because that's something that people have been asking for a lot. So, it's a lot cleverer on the back end. It's running loads more code. It's simulating loads more things, and just gives us the scope for a lot more stuff on the new front end as well, like stats, history, records, all that sort of stuff that gets people more immersed in the game.
And this is a good point to bring Lewis in, I feel like, because the two of us are FM nerds at heart. So more stats, more control. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
It sounds fantastic, yeah. The things I'm most looking forward to really are the match engine, because I've had a few issues with the FM1. I think we all do, I suppose, after playing for so many years. But yeah, I just can't wait to see the new match engine and the new UI and the play designs actually that Sam mentioned. You've not shown them. Can't wait for them ones.
No, not showing them. I think we've got a lot of feedback. We did that poll. I don't know if you two did it. It was a while ago. We got a lot of feedback on the current players, and the overall feeling is people like them, but they want them to be less silly. If you get what I mean, like
okay.
Some look stoned. People have really long necks. There's a lot going on with them at the moment. Mustaches on. I think Mozzie, you had a good one in one of your first streams of the beta. Mustache on the lips or something. So
I think he was a 15-year-old with an afro and a moustache on the lips, which was pretty impressive.
It's the young players as well.
Having a mortgage and 2 kids.
So there's a lot of work being done on that, which will be exciting to get thrown in as well.
And something else. So for anyone watching this that might have been out of the loop the past few months in terms of development, so I've touched on those things. There was a big community vote as well. Anyone looking to either get involved with Footium and owning a club, or that might already have a club that might not know, the big decisions tend to come to us, the club holders, to vote on. And it was on nationalities. So we've now got to the point where I believe it's been agreed and it's going forward that we're using real nationalities rather than kind of building a world. Is that right, Sam?
That is correct. I'm interested actually what you two voted. I know I saw a bit of your discussions in the Discord, but I'd love to know what you voted for and why.
I think me and Moz voted the same way. I'm pretty sure.
Did you?
Yeah. We voted
I think
for
we were
real
agreeing with each other the whole time.
Yeah, we went for real ones. I think the main reason for me was you've got to think long term, and I was thinking that if we do made up nationalities, people would have found it harder to get involved, because like if they don't get involved with that new nationality early in its origins and its story, they would have found it hard to get into it.
Yeah,
that was one of my reasons anyway. And then I think people can just resonate with real nationalities because they're real, right? That's just for me anyway. I mean, I don't know what Mozza thinks. I think he thinks the same, but
pretty much bang on. Yeah, I think that there's already a story crafting happening with what we've got in terms of we've got these new places, new clubs, new rivalries. You've seen it with some of the guys on Twitter that they've created so much lore for these clubs already. And I don't think having real nationalities detracts from that. If anything, it gives it a bit more of a basis in reality as well. So it makes it easier for people to get in and get attached to players and get involved that way, I would say.
Yeah.
Like, instead of having a striker who could come from wherever, I could have a Brazilian striker up front, suddenly I've got a Samba star. It's
exactly
like these things will write themselves over time, and I just think it's the right thing to do. So I'm delighted that we managed to get the vote the right way around, in our opinion, anyway. But
those votes, there's always so much discussion in the team. I feel like we talk about it for so long, and then we put out, because obviously we're all on different sides in the team. Some people want real nationalities, some people don't want them, and we put them across. And then what we kind of portrayed to the community was our thoughts on it. Obviously, a few of us like the idea of fake nationalities because we've already got these fake clubs, and you've got people creating all this law, like you said. So it was kind of cool to keep creating this world, and it's quite unique because I don't think anyone else is doing it. But what you two said really resonated with me when I was reading all the feedback. Is you've got these clubs that are made up, people have got attached to them, but if you can give them something that attaches it to the real world as well, then I think that's going to help people even come into the game. I'm sure I saw a message that you put, Lewis, about onboarding new users. It's going to be easier that way.
Yeah, I think so.
And there's other things as well, like it opens it up to new challenges. So, by the way, if Scottish isn't a nationality, I'm selling up. So that's my warning. But for example, I could go a season and I could say, right, I'm going to have only Scottish players. So I'm going to sell anyone else, bring them in. Suddenly you've got a vehicle for people to get interested in different challenges again, keeps it fresh. So I'm excited to see that because a team like yours, Sam, like Newcastle Axmans, that I've learned how to say now, by the way.
So what's that again?
I think it's something Mexican. But it lends itself to a South American type squad. You know, there's different ways you could look at it. But I like the idea as well, or maybe even just trying to get one of every nation represented in your squad. There's definitely different ways of looking at it.
So you'll sell up if Scotland aren't in the first, because I think we're starting with 16.
Scotland must be in that.
Scotland must be in the first.
Surely does.
I can see it now. There'll just be a UK flag just to appease me or something.
I'll have to double check the list that we put forward for 16.
See if it's England and Wales, I'll be absolutely raging. But in terms of previous beaters, like we had a joke about it earlier on, but myself and you, Lewis, had a lot of success with it. So it did feel like a very early FM build, didn't it?
It did.
Going back to the old chat manager, like maybe 2 or 3, where you had your set positions. There was a bit of madness with goalkeepers that could play outfield and all that, which I quite enjoyed. But we've somehow managed to find some success through it. So I guess my question is, are we worried that it's going to get more complex now?
A little bit. I think I owe a little bit to you, to be honest. As you remember that when we first started, before the first couple of games, I was DMing you on Discord. And you was basically saying, don't be afraid to take players off when they're low on condition. So I really used that, and I think that was behind most of my success, to be honest. So
I'll take that, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, anything that makes me sound like a mastermind's great. So, but on the flip side, Sam, what did you learn, given that you struggled a wee bit?
Yeah, I think the early beaters with less players involved, I had more time to play it. But the last beater, there was so many people. Well, I say so many. It felt like so many to me. I don't know what it's going to be like at launch when we've got all these games playing, and I've got to talk to everyone and make sure everything's going well. But there was a lot more feedback and people to onboard, and it isn't the easiest with testnet. I know it's not the easiest to go on MetaMask, get testnet, get your ETH and stuff loaded up. So there was a lot more onboarding with that, but that's one of the biggest things I've enjoyed. This is completely off topic, but from when I started at Footium, is onboarding people into crypto, into MetaMasks a lot better. I know there was loads of people at the start that had never minted anything before, and it was really cool to like walk them through that and still have them here today. But yeah, I think managerial wise, it was condition in this latest beta. If you kept on top of it, you were always going to do better than your opposition. And I did try to, but I think this squad generation was a little bit imbalanced. I had a load of wingbacks. I don't know what you guys had, but
I had a load of wingbacks.
Yeah, there was a kind of lack of centre backs as well, I remember, which wasn't ideal when I was playing 3 centre backs. I had 2 DMs and a centre back, I think, playing my back 3, but made it in the end.
Yeah, and that's actually, I think we did a feedback. It was a couple of months ago now, and the one that won was you get 1 guaranteed player in like goalkeeper, left back, left wing, and 2 in the central positions, and then the rest would be completely randomised. And I think that means no matter what, you've got a squad that you can actually play rather than not having a single centre back. And some people didn't have a goalkeeper, so you've got that squad, and then after that it's random, which is good for training as well because you still want that aspect at launch. And I think it's always exciting on that first beta day when everyone's going mad in that beta trade channel.
Honestly, I think I've done more trades than anyone else over these betas. Just like I'm constantly on it. I love it. But
I love the transfer graphics though. The Penn City transfer graphics are top notch.
Well, you got to kind of bum it up, don't you?
Yeah, you do. You do.
But, actually, did you not give me my top scorer as well, Kingston Norman, if I remember rightly?
I don't think I gave you him, but I think you beat me to the signing of him from M12PL.
Yeah. Oh, so it was. Yeah. I thought I had something else to hold over you there, but not quite.
I put one to buy Kingston Norman for a good 4 weeks, but you never went for it. I even put in some crazy offers, but the league was more important to you.
And that's another thing to bring up because I have been told to ask this as well. So in this new beta, I know the transfer market is getting worked on in the actual game itself. So where are we at that point? Is it still going to be kind of just basic offers for now, or is that potentially going to be in the beta before launch?
Yeah, so it was planned to be in the beta, but because it's not fully done on the front end, it's probably not going to be in this beta. We wanted to prioritize the front end so people can test that alongside the advanced match engine. It's something that we will probably cut this next beta season. It probably won't be a full month because we'll want to be testing lots and lots of different things. It's pretty quickly because the plan is to launch before the end of the year and we're still on track for that. So transfer market won't be in the next beta, but it is being worked on, and we're really happy with the UI that's been designed by Simon and Chinaza, and it's all being hashed out now. I think that's going to be completely different. It's complicated with the beta because people want RONs to mean something, but even if we had a transfer market, I'm not sure they'd mean too much because, for example, you got people like me that spent 25,000 RON on a player just because it was funny and it didn't mean anything. And I was just trying to do it for content for the Metaverse Studios guy who wanted to like do this news flash, and it was really cool. But I think once the real game launches and you've got the real economy in there, that's when it's gonna. I just wonder how it'll settle and what your rare players will be worth and your legendary players, and we're really interested to see those first few months how the market settles itself.
Oh, it's going to be the Wild West, I think. I've no idea how I'm going to price up players. I'll probably just get carried away with it, the same as we all will, to be honest. But so I guess the only other kind of thing to bring up on the beta side of things, you mentioned it'll be a shorter beta there. So is it planned 2 more before full launch then?
Yeah, it's not confirmed. It's just something we talked about this earlier because we were planning. Obviously, I made the league tables and stuff, so we had like a bit of a beta planning session today. And that's where we got the news that the front end is probably going to be ready, which is awesome. But there was talks it probably won't be a month. It'll probably be 2 or 3 weeks. Whether we might make it less games and stuff, so there's still league winners because we want to put in some prizes, whether that's even if it's a really small monetary prize, just something for the winners. Because at the end of the last season, there were a few zombie teams, and I think people have given their feedback. Their condition had gone down, and they just thought, "Well, I've given my feedback. What's the point in playing? Because my players are all finished." So we want to like up the ante a little bit, as it will be for the real game. But yeah, there's plans to be a few because we want to test the transfer market. We want to test things like the academy reveal video and stuff like that. But yeah, for now, it should be a shorter one. The next one.
Drawing prizes after we've won stuff, Lewis.
I know. Yeah.
To be fair, it'll be immortalized on your club's trophy page. There'll be a little other section. FFLB champion. That. So that's pretty nice.
Forever IFF one champion. Sure. I'll never get there.
You're only champion.
But anything else we want to bring up beta wise or just generally development wise, you two?
Good question.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure at all. I think what I want, and I don't know if this is possible, I think I might be asking too much, is I want to spend a lot of time on it, on the actual app. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you guys used to play Football Manager Live. I want it to be like that. I don't think it can be like that because that failed. But I don't want it to be like that because it failed. But I just want to spend a lot of time on it, sort of thing. And I don't know if that's how do we do that. I don't know.
I know. I get what you mean. I think the one game every day limits you like 6-hour Football Manager sessions where you play like a whole season or whatever out. But there's a lot of things to do. I mean, you got to think the transfer market with real money on the line. You're going to be wanting to do proper scouting and spend a bit of time and seeing what value you can extract from your squad as well. Because at launch there will be training. That's being hashed out as well and will be added to our Footium wiki pretty soon, so you can get more of an insight into how that will work at launch. There's also stuff like your stadium upgrades, which I don't think we've actually showed what the new stadiums look like, but they're really cool. So it's quite exciting how you can upgrade your stadiums. They're obviously quite basic now. I think it's just like 4 corners and get bigger, but there's a lot more dimensions to them now ready for launch. So I think there'll be a lot. And also there's community members making analytics sites, so we'll obviously we'll show a little bit on the players page. For example, you'll have like shots per 90, goals, assists, a few stats, but on the API there'll be loads and people will be able to work out loads of stuff like pass accuracy, shot accuracy. You can probably moneyball it really, which is it's pretty exciting. I think it'll never be like that where you can sit down for 6 hours and play loads of games, obviously, but in that meantime there will be quite a lot to do.
Yeah, I like that idea, having a Saurier data to a Saurier.
I was just going to mention that exact same thing.
Yeah, Catalinic, he's a community member. He applied for a grant as well, so we've been in talks for him for a little while about getting something made for that.
Love that. Love the sound of that. Right, shall we move on to the next topic that we've got ready to rumble, which is what we would like to see in the future Footium post-launch. So not just in terms of the game itself, but we've already seen a lot of community things, so any more ideas on that front. Just the floor is yours. Guys, I'll let you jump in with what your predictions are and what you'd like to see.
I'll let you go, Lewis, and I'll take some notes.
Right, okay. Mine's sort of like not specific, it's just I want everything. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want...
That's not much. Not much to ask.
I don't know, I want it to just go everywhere. Like, take over, do you know what I mean? I want it to be like the most popular thing outside of real football.
So you want for example, you want Moz's team to have real fans and stuff. You want people to be tuning into his games.
Yeah, exactly.
People buying his kits and stuff and that going to his transfer budget.
100%. I want the shareholders and things like that in the club and just everything that you can possibly get. That's what I want to do.
I like the idea of shareholders in the club. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's been talked about a lot. I think Division 1 owners might do something like that because there was that day where someone spent an unruly amount of money on a few Division 1 clubs. So I'm not sure if that person is going to want to run all of them or whether they'll do some sort of shareholder. Because you could run it like a DAO. You could have people buy tokens and they have a vote on what you do. A bit like what Futera do for a real world football team. I mean, it's even easier to do it for a Footium team. So something like that is a really cool idea. So that's something that's up to you. I can't do that. That's up to
I also wonder as well is if like some people have bought like I don't know, like some people have got 10 clubs or whatever. Yeah. And then I wonder if they can like if they're obviously rich and someone's doing really well, they could like employ managers like real life teams do, sort of thing. Like that'd be quite cool as well.
Yeah, I think that is something that will happen straight away. Obviously, we call it the scholarship model, but I don't really like the name. It's more like assistant manager, isn't it, really? It's going to be like at launch where you can apply and you can earn a percentage of any rewards that you get and you set up the team and stuff. And with that assistant manager feature, you can like set different levels of power. So you could let someone just set your team. You could let them have access to your treasury, which obviously you really need to trust the person. There's a lot you can do. And I know Spud's already got about 6 managers for his team. I think they're his mates and stuff, but he's already got a load for.
I've got a club with my dad. He knows nothing about it. But I've just got a club with him. He just wanted in.
And it's tough. Like I think people have said in ideas and feedback, it'd be cool if you could track manager stats. It's quite hard to do because if you had a few wallets on a club, obviously it's on chain, so you could maybe see who signed it, but it's not something we have planned currently. But I think in the future, if you could have like this wallet has like a 60% win record in Division 4, and then a Division 3 club with a bit of money comes in and poaches the manager. It'd be really cool. And we'll open up channels in the Discord. I'd say probably a little bit before launch, so people that want people to manage their clubs can start getting them on board.
So it's sort of like a CV thing, isn't it? Like basically, which is good.
So that's something I think people will be doing as owners anyway. Just keeping tabs, because obviously it's in their interest for them to do well. Like with the community club I've got, that's exactly what I'll be doing. Kind of keeping tabs on who's doing well and sending them their details as well.
That's what you told me, Mozzie. You told me a different viewer was going to manage your team every week. Are you too scared?
Every 3 weeks. Every 3 weeks was the idea. So I might need to change it to 6 depending on the system and its limitations, but it is going to happen. And I'm a bit scared about it.
That's scary but exciting.
If it starts doing well though, it could be good. Could be really.
I mean, it's cool because it's like a really mini assistant manager thing where you've got someone new each month that gets the chance to play the game and maybe earn a bit of rewards and good content as well.
That's the idea, yeah. Boil it all into one.
All the content,
As long as it's not constantly losing battle, great content. So.
It is the debate club though, isn't it? So
basically Footium all or nothing I'm trying to create
right now.
Yeah. It's a good title, actually. It's a good YouTube title.
Do you know what? I'm taking it before anyone else does.
Lewis wanted that one.
But so obviously Lewis kind of throwing some thoughts at you there, Sam. To turn the question slightly,
yes.
What have you seen so far that you've really liked that you'd like to see more of?
I think the biggest thing I love, obviously being community lead, is everyone on social media making all this content for these clubs. It feels so special to me to see it, like lineup graphics, people actually putting in time and effort to their clubs and getting that sense of ownership as well. I think people do really feel that. And I'd love to see more of that. Obviously, we saw a lot during the beta, but the beta is quite limited in terms of who can play because we need to get feedback pretty well. But I think at launch it could be really exciting and a bit like Lewis said. I'd love it if some teams got like thousands of followers. I think Mozzie, you're about 500 followers already, so it's pretty cool and stuff like that. Just the expansion, because we didn't expect Twitter to be like another arm of the game, but it kind of has become another arm of the game. That's what I'd love to see more of at launch.
I'm going to pause it because I've not let my wife in. The door's locked, so give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
No problem.
It's no worries.
And we're back. Right. That was good. I was wondering why is the dog constantly barking? Oh yeah.
I wondered if it was yours or Sam's. I didn't know which one it was.
Don't have a dog. I thought it was yours, Lewis, because I think I saw a photo of your dog on Twitter.
Yeah, no, I've got one. Yeah, but it's not mine. She's behaving.
I'm just going to leave that bit in, by the way, in the podcast.
That's fine. I hope I was speaking well. I was thinking the whole time during it, I wonder whose dog that is. So I don't really remember what I said.
Don't think she agreed with your point, to be honest. But no, I'd echo what you were saying there. Like, some of the content's been great because I started off thinking my graphics were kind of a level up. Then the next beta season came and they were right in the middle of the pack. And I thought, usually I pride myself on these. I'm going to have to step things up again, so that can only be a good thing. Everyone pushing each other up.
It does bring so much. It excites a lot of people as well. That community spotlight article we did where we highlighted a few things. We've shown that to footballers and stuff, and that's what really excites them, is the fact that people are so immersed in the game, and it's what they want to get involved in. Still waiting on Sean Wright Phillips to make his club Twitter, but I'll pressure him at launch, get him on it.
Big Chris Smalling as well. We'll need to
get
them all moving on it. Although a couple of the guys, I know Carlos Braithwaite's right into it, isn't he? So he's
been messaging me quite a lot recently. Actually, he wanted some sneak peeks of the new UI, so I gave him some sneak peeks, ones that you've all seen, but he's not in the Discord, so sent him and he's really excited. Going to get him in the next beta as well because he's not actually tested the game yet.
Well, there you go. For those of you who don't know, there are a few names lurking away already involved with Footium, so I'm no doubt you'll see them talked about as things roll out as well. Sean Wright Phillips is absolutely mad for it. Like, he was in the trading channel constantly in the last beta trying to get our players off it.
It was in my league.
Was he? Yeah. He was messaging. He found it so funny that he beat Jordan, our developer. He just really loved that he beat the developer. But I don't know if you saw this, but I was walking. I live in Manchester. I was walking around the canals. It was around 2 weeks ago, and I saw him on a Man City boat holding the trophy. I was like, sure, right, Phillips, I've got to go and say hi. And went up to him, and it was just so funny. He was so excited to see me, and it was just so random. And just chatting to him about Footium for 2 minutes. He's with Sean Goater as well. He wasn't excited to see me; he didn't know who I was. But it was really cool to just randomly see a Footium holder who was a footballer in person, and just have a quick chat with him before he had to go to his next shoot with the Premier League trophy.
It's a hard life, is it? Just
going
about on a boat, just lifting the trophy.
He was on a boat with 3,000 cans of Asahi, because Asahi are the new beer sponsor of Man City. So looked pretty cool.
Like a good afternoon, didn't it?
Yeah.
But so the other, you've kind of touched on all the features that are coming already. I didn't expect. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect you to throw them all in. By the way, these are coming quick.
The big alpha very early.
Hopefully people are still watching or listening. But the big thing there, like this UI, I know we've had it teased over time and so on, but compared to the last beta that people might have seen and thought that looks a bit basic, it was a test version of the program. So I think that's a massive game changer ahead of anything else, to be honest. Even the advanced match engine, because there's only so much that you can see of that. But I genuinely think this UI is the big game changer, because it looks on a level of a football manager or those kind of games of that ilk as well. Yeah,
I think as well with that, there's our old UI did its purpose. I don't want to be too harsh to Jordan, because he's not a front end dev and he coded that all. But obviously with crypto and with this NFTs in play to earn games and stuff, there's a lot of people aren't sure about it. And when you see a football manager game that looks like what it did look like, pretty old fashioned and stuff, people are just going to be turned off straight away, because they want to be turned off anyway. So yeah, for me, it's a massive game changer. And I know some big content creator partners that we have are pretty excited to make content with the new UI, because they feel more comfortable sharing it with their audience. So that'll be quite nice, that sort of onboarding as well. And yeah, like you say, for me, it's the biggest game changer. Like it is. I've had a little click around on it, and it's really good. I don't want to hype it up too much, but I'm really excited to get your play.
Well, just kind of coming from our world, Lewis, like when we are making content, when we are doing it live or so on, it's going to be so much easier to sell the game, I guess. Like, not that we're trying to sell it as such, but I think more people will be much more inclined to get in to find out more about it now.
Yeah, I think I remember. Sorry,
okay.
I was just saying, I think I remember seeing some people in your chat. They weren't negative, but they just weren't too sure on how it looked. And the player designs as well, combined with that, was people just, if you're trying to show them something new, it wasn't. I'm not saying it wasn't the best thing to show them, because it was cool to show them like a really early version of the game. But yeah, I think it'll be much, much better for your audiences as well to show people Footium in that way.
I think 3 or 4 people from my stream have bought clubs, and I think the other 4 or 5 are looking for probably the next beta, for the match engine and stuff like that. And I think they'll probably take the plunge, because they are interested in it. Definitely, I've got my own channel in my own Discord, Little Footium, so lots of people ask questions and all that stuff. So yeah,
I think I see that
my part.
People use your emojis sometimes. Yeah, and I'm like, why are they using Lewis's emojis? I'm like, they've found us through Lewis. Like the goat emoji, I always see that one used.
Yeah. If it's not them, it's me. I'm doing it. I'm promoting myself.
I was going to say, he's trying to get them to spam it for him. Yeah. It's kind of like me in the Penn City one. It's just like,
yeah, that's a good one. I like it. I think, were you the first to do that? And everyone quickly followed suit on that.
I think so.
Or was it Brains co-wrote? I can't remember. It was one of them.
I think I did it, and then Spud instantly messaged me going, "How did you do that?" And then it just that was it,
Yeah.
But I like the idea that we'll get to that point now where everyone will have their own kind of thing in the Discord as well, their badge or like some kind of fan emote or whatever. It's just going to grow and grow and grow. More identity, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
100%.
But talking of more things and identity and so on, we can't really talk about community things without talking about what's coming up now. So I'm going to change up the order a wee bit, what we were going to talk about, because this is a perfect time to bring up the community meetup that's now happening. Because for anyone that may or may not be aware, I say we as if I'm part of Footium, Footium is a sponsor of Leyton Orient this year, short sponsor. So I'll let you pick up, Sam, and tell everyone what's happening.
You're a big part of Footium, Muzzer. But yeah, we've sponsored Leyton Orient for the upcoming season, back of short sponsor, which was really exciting for the whole team, really, to sponsor a football league club. I think it's everyone's dream to do something like that and get into FIFA. That was really exciting for us. And yeah, the community event next month it's something I've been trying to push for us to do for a long time. And with the devs working hard and there being a bit of downtime between the last beta and the next one, I got the green light to get it organised. So yeah, on Saturday, the 15th of October, there's 50 of us going to Leyton Orient. We're gonna be in the lounge pre-match, have some drinks, have some food, watch the match, and hopefully all wear our Footium kits, because I think something like that could go viral. 50 people sat in. I mean, I'm not sure how happy they'll be because they're playing red, but Northampton don't play in blue. Northampton don't play in blue, so I think we're going to be okay. And yeah, really excited about that. And it was so good to see the community's response to that, really, because I was thinking we've got 1,200 unique owners, only around 40% are from the UK. So I was wondering how quickly the tickets would go, but they were sold out in an hour, which was amazing. Looking forward to meeting some people in person as well, which, yeah, I'm just really excited for. I know you're coming, Muzzer, so looking forward to it.
Yeah, myself and Hibby will be on a very early plane down from Edinburgh, so we might not be in the best condition by the time kick-off comes around, but we'll see how it goes. But is this kind of the idea of what's to come in your mind then? So, like, I don't know if it'll get built into prizes or whatever, but potentially more meetups and more events going forward.
Yeah, I mean, as well, you've got to think we minted last November and people have held on to their clubs, and I think we've had a really strong community in that way where you see a lot of people that were here from then. And this is something I wanted to do as well, to kind of give back to holders. Obviously, we can't give back to everyone because we've got Americans, Australians, and stuff like that. I mean, I've been shipping so many kits out these last few weeks to Australia and stuff. But yeah, I hope we can do more. And maybe when Footium's big and global, we can do them in Australia and do them in America too. But I think this season it made sense to do it at Leyton Orient. Seems to sponsor them. I do think it's the first of more to come, because we've got a few things we can do with Leyton Orient as well, with rentals and maybe even pitch rentals as well, which could be very interesting. But we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, there could be like award events as well for Golden Boot winners, manager of the season in person. And I think it's just nice to get together, because everyone in the community talks to each other online every day, and they never see each other face to face. So it's cool for that to happen.
You've got the cogs one now. I'm thinking about pitch rentals.
Yeah, I've got some ideas for that, but we'll that could be in the rewards for something. We'll see.
And then the other thing that comes to mind off the back of Lewis is things like pro clubs on FIFA as well.
Yeah,
probably going to become a thing.
Lewis mentioned this the other day. This is actually one of the
reasons.
This
is my area, that's why.
Have you done a lot of pro clubs, Lewis?
A lot. Too much. Yeah. I think it came in 2010.
Yeah.
And I have had a club, well, I don't now, but I had a club from 2010 to 2018, and we just played and won so many tournaments, etc. We took it probably too serious. Yeah. It's supposed to be a bit of fun between friends, but we were really training sessions,
swearing at each other.
Really
yeah,
this really is high level. Yeah,
it's like one of the exciting things we thought after we did the deal with Leyton Orient, that we're going to be in FIFA, that we can make a pro clubs. We didn't actually even think of it until we got on the phone with Sean for the first time. And he just told us how much he loves playing pro clubs. He plays drop-in matches and stuff all the time. So we're thinking, well, why don't we organise a thing where Sean can play with us and some of our community, which is another cool benefit to being in Footium. And then we're like, oh, yeah, but we can play with the Leyton Orient badge and we'll be in the game as well.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to put Lewis in charge of it, to be fair. I was talking to George about it today.
No pressure.
And,
I'd love that, to be honest. I thrive under that, I think. That's the game I know. I used to play professionally, so FIFA, so...
There you go. Yeah. Did you? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I went to Barcelona and Manchester with Pro T Sports. Yeah,
Well,
I didn't win, obviously, but
Lewis can be the pro club's captain, manager, and get it all over the socials.
It's hard to arrange though. Like I used to do it every single night at like 9 p.m. and to get 11 people, 10 and me in the same spot, the same when people have got families, kids, etc. It was hard. So yeah.
I know a few of the team are mad for it, so we'd love to play, and then it would be good to get some community people. And I just want Sean to play one game with us. I think that'd be awesome.
I think it'll be the classic kind of squad of 25 or 30, and whoever's free and whatever night just jumps in.
We'll make a channel and stuff and give roles out for people that play it, because I think it's going to be cross-play. I'm not sure if it is going to be at launch, but
not at the start, no.
Not at the start, yeah.
So that'll make it a lot easier once it becomes cross-play, and give some channels. You can at people playing now, win Division 1 with Footium.
Yeah, and I can stream that as well, because I've got people that came from my FIFA streams to FM and stayed there, so that there's a crossover that can go back as well, so which is good.
So also the chance of getting Footium 1 Footium action with it as well, just to get some tribal going. So I actually quite like the sound of that. But yeah, like that probably helps pivot into the other thing we're going to bring up in terms of where this sits generally with Web3 as a whole. And Sam, you mentioned something earlier on that I kind of noticed that this is a good onboarding point for people when it comes to crypto, when it comes to NFTs, all these kind of things. The first NFT I've ever owned was my Footium club. So I'm kind of evidence as is Lewis of it, you know. Mm-hmm. So in terms of like generally where Footium sits in this, like where do you see its place going forward? Because there are a few similar projects trying to get going now, isn't there?
Yeah, it's kind of strange, because I think if you'd seen play to earn games and crypto games of the last few years, they're very basic. I don't know if you've looked into stuff like Axie, and it is quite a basic game, and people kind of farm it for rewards and stuff like that, and a lot of guilds farm it for rewards. What we're really trying to build is the future of football management gaming. We want it to be right up there. We want people to, when they think of football management games, think of us. Obviously, Football Manager is the biggest, and it'll probably always be the biggest. But with us, there's a little bit of difference with the games every day against real people.
Yeah.
Crypto and NFTs allow the economy to flourish a lot better with everything being on chain, and makes it a lot less easy to cheat. I know on other things, people can make loads of teams just sign up and transfer players across and stuff, and if you do that, you'll probably end up losing a lot of money. If you completely got rid of 9 clubs, academies and stuff and sent them to another team, you might get promoted, but you're also diminishing the value of 9 other clubs. So it's a lot less likely. But yeah, we're just fully focused. We all have that vision of what we want the game to be, and we all know what game it's going to be, and really excited to bring it to you and really be at the forefront of football management gaming for the years to come.
Yeah, it's building an ecosystem as well as a game, isn't it? Because you're building the whole market as well as the kind of everything under the hood, so to speak. So if it launches well, like I like that what you've said about cheating as well, because I've seen that in Soria recently, a bit of a scandal or two, that people have been caught because there's blockchain transactions to refer back to. So is that something that the team's really thought hard about then?
It's something we've definitely thought about. I can't remember what game it was. It was another game we had a look into. It was like an online football management game, and we just noticed that you could sign up and transfer all your players. So the best people were just doing that over and over, and bots were doing it. So like people were just winning because of this. And I guess Footium is different as well to things like So Rare, because I know there's been all this talk about multi-account and stuff, but on Footium, you kind of will share your clubs anyway with other people. And like, it's a very different system in terms of you've got to choose your tactics. You have to actually put in the work to win the games. It's not players winning, like doing well in real life wins you things. So I think there's not too many similarities in that way. And I know there's been people that have come in our Discord with worries about stuff like that, but there isn't really anything to worry about in that aspect, because it's a completely different style of games.
Yeah, on paper it's really balanced, isn't it, Lewis?
Yeah, I'm just coming back to what Sam just said then about Football Manager, and he said it's not the same. When you said there's like a game a day, I think a lot of people that play Football Manager like offline on themselves, just grinding seasons, I think a lot of them because the network system on Football Manager, I've got it on my screen, that's why I'm looking there. I think a lot of them want to play online with their friends.
Yeah.
And the system's not great on there. It's been a bit neglected over the years, etc., etc. So I think people will love that it's against, like, every single match is against another human being. So I think people will love that aspect. I think a lot more people love that than the people think.
Mm-hmm.
I think, anyway. I see a lot of people, even going to my chat, or I see everywhere that say, want to start a network save, and they'll be like, well, we can't because there's like, 10, 15 people, and to get them all in the same time and the same...
Yeah.
You can't do it. But on this, it's like everything's arranged for you. Your team's there. You just sign on. And I think it's going to go really big, really quick, which is what I hope.
And I think as well, there's not really much pressure to log on with network games and stuff like that, because if you miss a game, I guess it matters for your
ego,
bragging rights. And ego, yeah. But with this, like I've spoke to a lot of people when we're getting feedback, and most people say the most exciting thing is playing the game, but the rewards are a bonus. And the fact that there is monetary rewards, and obviously we've changed that now, so the top 9 get paid out instead of just the top 3. I think that will keep people, even if you're a really casual player that just logs on, changes their team, doesn't even look at the opposition, just trusts in their tactics, makes sure the players are fit, does a little bit of trading on the transfer market when they got a bit more time on the weekends or whatever, then they'll still be getting something from the game, and most likely still be playing every day. I don't expect there to be too many zombie teams. Maybe a few in Division 8, but once we had Division 9 in the future, I'm sure people will come crawling because they don't want their teams to get relegated down to Division 9.
No.
That sounded like a little sneak bit of information there, but we'll move past it very, very quietly.
Sneak peek, officially.
I'll fire something at you at the end for that then.
Yeah,
but,
I'm ready for it.
So basically, just to clarify that for anyone that might have missed it, because I know a few people have watched this that haven't kept right up to tabs with the Discord and so on over the past few months. If you are not relegated, there will be a reward of some sort in your league, basically. So the top 9 will get something. It's just the bottom 3 won't. Is that right?
That is right. A lot of people have been asking about parachute payments and stuff, which it isn't.
Norwich fans, I guess.
Yeah, we really want to keep that incentive to keep you playing to that last game. And yeah, it'll suck if you get relegated, but you've probably got an okay team to go into the next season. You'll maybe be more motivated to finish in the top 9.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There won't be many people that get back to back, but there will be someone. Maybe Mozza. Maybe Mozza's community team at some point.
I mean, if anyone fancies donating me all the ETH, then there's a possibility. But I think I'm looking forward to seeing how someone like myself can compete with someone that's, say, going to go and spend a bit more money. And there will be that element in the match engine of skill overcoming money to an extent as well, won't there? So I'm quite excited to see how that plays out, especially in the cup draws as well, if you're playing against teams from higher levels. Yeah,
and this has been George's idea from the start. He loves the FA Cup. I think because Lincoln beat Burnley in the court.
It's not like he's mentioned it or anything.
Yeah. So there is an increased variance on the FFA Cup, so which is exciting. A little toggle on the match engine. It's the only cup that there is. The magic of the FFA Cup is coming into play there. So that should be good.
This year?
Yeah, that's that.
That's the one.
Footium Football Association.
But that's the other thing I quite like as well. So you've got, I know we touched on it earlier, but the reality, and you've still got that fancy element, but it's all built out properly as well. So free reign for people to go and do all sorts with it, as long as it's within the rules.
Exactly.
I should drop that just in case, because certain teletext will probably accuse some officials of bias.
Yeah. I think Questo made a very dodgy gossip news page as well, which put some weird stories in about you, Mozza.
I noticed that. Yeah.
Are they true, Mozza?
I don't know what they were.
No, I mean,
do you not remember? I won't say what they are, but
no comment.
No, I don't
go and have a look after.
But it's probably a good kind of point to bring up here. Is there anything else in Web3 that you guys are either actively keeping an eye on or are actually involved in just now?
I'm in Sora and Footium, and that's it. That is because football's sort of like my thing. I don't want to venture out anywhere else in case it goes horrifically wrong. I've been a bit slow on Sorare. A few real life things going on, as everyone knows, but yeah, I think Footium is going to be my main thing. I mean, I've got 3 clubs now, so I've gone from no NFTs to 3 straight away. So I'm quite serious about it. I think, yeah, can't wait for it to come. Really.
How about yourself, Sam?
Too focused on Footium. Takes up all my time. Can't think about anything
Correct
else.
answer.
I used to play Sorare a little bit, but yeah, since joining Footium full time last November, I think too busy.
Yeah, I'm trying to ease off in the Sorare just now because I went a bit mad when the Scottish Leagues got added.
Yes,
I was literally buying anyone that was a starter without realising how Sorare worked. So, kind of trying to focus on the Ryan Golds of this world now that I actually score good points. It's a harsh lesson to learn, but for anyone watching, go and watch the Sorare guys before you buy anyone. That's my
definitely.
But they'll have that learning curve for Footium as well, I guess, because we all need to work out ourselves what the right kind of players are for the right kind of formations, and if they've got, say, hidden things that you might not be able to see initially when you bring them in that can affect their performance. So there's going to be that similar learning process for everyone involved with them.
Yeah, and I think once more, great content for you guys to figure out what works and what doesn't. Make some guides, get it up there.
Oh yes.
We'll learn through the pain.
Yeah.
Besides law that we'll both end up in the bottom 3 in the first season after shooting the lights out in beta, you know.
Can we go back to beta then after that?
So yeah, can we start again? Just do a redo. But I'll finish off with this then. Sam, I'm going to come back to that Division 9 little comment there. So I know one of the comments that won't have listened to this point in the podcast will be, wait a minute, what happened to the other blockchains?
Yes.
What happened to everything else there? So what's the plan?
Other chains are still the plan. Currently, we're not focusing on it because the technology's, it's not where we thought it was. We spent a lot of time looking, Fraser especially spent a lot of time looking to see how plausible it would be, because in theory you think it's easy to just duplicate out to another chain, but they've got all these technical words about EVMs, I don't know, and on ramps and stuff. And yeah, basically the technology isn't fully there. So we still really want to do it because Sol Big Brain's an investor in our round. He's a massive Solana influencer. He's really excited for it to go to Solana one day, and that ecosystem for NFTs is doing very well. So that would be pretty exciting. But for now, fully focused on the Ethereum League. And if we do plan to expand, we've not got any plans currently, but after launch, there might be more interest, and we'd look to do Division 9 before going to a different chain.
And the only other thing would be, do we know what layer 2 will be used yet, or is there any more kind of tokenomics stuff coming down the line as well?
Layer 2 is very close, but I think Fraser said this in a Twitter space. They get more technology. Like every week they've got updates. Yeah. I can't remember. There was one of them who was saying once they bring their update, the fees could go even lower than what they are now. So we're just looking what's going to be best for everyone, because we don't want there to be any fees really. So we're just going to look for the lowest possible ones. And tokenomics, George and James working on it. I say this a lot, I know, but there will. We kind of want it to be closer to launch. So it's like all fully out there. So it will be close to launch. I'd say a month before launch, we'll release information on that.
We'll take it. Any other questions, Lewis? You want to fire
in? The 5-a-side thing. The rentals thing at Leighton Orient.
Oh, I've got some ideas for that. I can't tell you right now. But
I tried.
We'll go there. But
we'll need to get an away kit, a Footium away kit for that.
Yeah,
so
that'd be good.
Yeah, no, that would be good.
Unless we get Penn City against Footium.
Yeah, have you got those kits on order?
No, I'm still working on it. Still working on it. Well, we'll get there eventually. Probably by the time everyone's forgotten about them.
As well, I'll give a little bit more alpha at the end. Not really alpha, but just a few teasers that it's obviously been not quiet, but a little bit quiet for a little while with development. But we've been working on quite a few exciting things outside of development, exciting partnerships. So keep your eyes out for the next 3 weeks. There's a couple of really exciting things.
Well, on that note, let's round things off. Just before we drop some plugs in, at Footium on Twitter, we'll find you anything to do with the game, be it the website, be it the Discord. Discord's the best place to go, isn't it? for asking questions and just finding out more. You've got all the official links in there as well. Don't go looking at links that you don't know are legit is the biggest advice we can give. That's not financial advice. We're safe. And yeah, to round things off, where can we find you guys? I'll start with yourself, Lewis.
I'm just Lewis H90 everywhere. Everywhere. Just type it in wherever you want. And
it's great branding.
Yeah, exactly. All under one, easy.
I love
it. I've got it down pat. Go on in, Sam.
Easiest place to find me is Discord. I'm always online Discord. But if you want to find me on Twitter, it's SamJackson25. I mainly tweet sad things about Man United. So if you want to see some of that, come and follow me.
Yeah, if you're a fan of any other major top 6 team in England, you might want to follow Sam. She's been quite enjoyable for you guys, I suspect, of late. And you'll find me at Mozza Plays on Twitter. You'll find at Penn City FC for my club, which is also basically now the Footium Fridays account as well. Everything will go through that. If you're watching on YouTube, drop me a wee like and subscribe if you feel kind enough. And if you are listening on any of these podcast apps, the good ones or the bad ones, drop us a wee rating as well as a comment. But thank you very much for watching or listening. We will be back in a couple of weeks' time or so. I might have a little special version coming out from the Leyton Orient meetup. I'm potentially going to take a camera down and do some content, and potentially getting more wobbly and drunken as the day goes on. But until next time, guys, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate you coming on.
No, thanks for having us. It's been great.
And honoured, really. First one.
Yeah, very honoured. I'm looking forward to listening. How often are these getting released, Mozza?
Probably every 2 to 3 weeks initially, but when the game gets properly launched, it's likely going to be weekly, if not every 2 weeks at the very minimum, because we're going to have enough to talk about, I feel like.
Yes, there's going to be a lot.
Just to a quick one before I go, I'm going to Sam something. Is that all right?
Yeah,
go for it.
Is there any plans for a Soccer Saturday sort of thing? I know you did one before with Mozza and Tom, and is there anything like that going?
We've done loads of them. Jordan absolutely loves them. He loves coming on them. He was asking me the other week if we can do them every week. So I think we'll try and do as many as possible. I know the Metaverse Studio guys are waiting until the game launches now to do some stuff, so there'll be stuff in there. Maybe you two can do one as well. And I'd love to do more. I think it's a really cool way. And that first demo we did all the way back in December was really fun to do.
Yeah, it was a good laugh, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just between us, Lewis, I can also go live on the Footium channel at any time, but don't tell Sam.
There you go.
So on that slightly kind of threatening note, I'll leave you to. Thank you very much for watching and listening, folks, and we'll catch you next time.
Thank you, everyone. Cheers.